What is it like to vlog on a Canon RP? That's the question I'm going to be answering right now. As a hybrid shooter, I think having a camera that does phenomenal photography but can also do video very well is a must as a hybrid shooter. Say you are out shooting photography, say you're working with a client and you have your main camera on sticks and you want to capture some BTS. The Canon RP is a great backup camera. Of course, you have the GoPros or the iPhones or whatever phone you have to capture BTS, but being that the Canon RP is probably overkill for behind the scenes, you'd still be capturing high quality video for TikTok, Instagram, YouTube Shorts, whichever you're using it for, because of the quality of the sensor compared to a GoPro or any other action cam on the market for that matter, and even your iPhone. But if you're like me, you always have a second camera as a backup. In the case something unfortunate happens to your main camera, always have a second camera as a backup while you're out on a shoot. And the Canon RP, great backup. Let's say you aren't a photographer. Let's say you're a real estate agent and you want to capture some reference photos or backup photos in case the photos that the photographer shoot just isn't up to what you're looking for. The Canon RP would definitely come in clutch. The reference photos you capture with this camera, with the Canon RP, would be on par with the photography or the photos that the photographer captures. It's always good to have a professional photographer come out and do the work, but in the case that something goes wrong, some files get corrupted, it's a good camera to have for reference photos in case, you know, things don't work out in the end, that you need to hold off until you can get another photographer out. That's worst case, but it's still a good camera to do a ton of other things with. How about this? You're a business consultant, you're frequently in 5-hour layovers. You want something to capture your experience and your journey as a business consultant with all the traveling from all the different airports and all the different places that you're going. The Canon RP will definitely check those boxes that need to be checked as a traveler and that wants to document their journey. How about this? You're a college student, just now moving into your new apartment, and you want a camera that can definitely stick with you for that 4 years that you can grow into even after you graduate. Now, with the versatility of the full frame sensor, the camera can shoot in 4K 24p, but I would definitely stick with the 1080 options because it's going to give you a decent amount of quality. Now, based off of all the scenarios I mentioned, as the photographer or the real estate agent, the business consultant, or the student, this camera is definitely a good option, especially if you're just starting out in photography and you're looking for a good camera with great features that'll get you started, something that you can stick with for about 4 to 5 years. The Canon RP is definitely a good option to go with. Now, out of all of these scenarios, I relate more with the professional photographer. I was a student at one point, possibly going to be a student in the future, but as a professional photographer, I always keep a second camera on hand as a backup, and something like the Canon RP with a 16mm f2.8 is exactly what I need as a camera that I can do stuff like this, where I'm vlogging in this definitely kind of creepy empty home. And in the case I do want to capture BTS, but I don't do TikTok, Instagram, or, I mean, I do have an Instagram, but I don't do TikTok and I don't do YouTube Shorts. But if you do want to see any of that content, do let me know in the description below. But as a professional photographer, this setup that I have here is definitely great for me to throw in my bag in the case something does happen to my main camera. And based off of all of what I just mentioned, do you think the Canon RP would be a great option for you? Thanks for joining, and as always, stay awesome.